In a small, forgotten town nestled between dense forests, there was a legend whispered among the locals, the tale of the Watcher. They said that every 100 years, a figure appeared at the edge of the woods, cloaked in shadows, observing anyone who dared to venture near. One crisp autumn evening, a group of friends, Jake, Emma, and Liam, decided to explore the woods after hearing the tale from an old man at the diner. Intrigued, and a bit skeptical, they grabbed flashlights and set off, laughing off the warnings of the townsfolk. As they delved deeper into the trees, the atmosphere shifted. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting eerie shapes against the bark. The laughter faded, replaced by the unsettling sound of rustling leaves and distant whispers. "Do you hear that?" Emma asked, her voice trembling. "It's probably just the wind," Jake replied, though he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. They pressed on, convinced it was all in their heads. Suddenly, Liam stumbled upon an old, gnarled tree with strange symbols carved into its trunk. "Look at this!" he called out. The moment they gathered around, a chill swept through the air, and the temperature dropped. "Let's head back," Emma suggested, her instincts kicking in. But just as they turned, they caught sight of a dark figure standing at the edge of the clearing, a tall, shadowy silhouette with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through the dim light. Panic surged through them as they ran, branches clawing at their clothes. They could hear the sound of footsteps behind them, almost keeping pace, echoing in the stillness of the woods. "Split up!" Jake shouted, darting in a different direction. Emma and Liam hesitated but quickly followed suit, hearts racing as they fled deeper into the forest. Time blurred as they stumbled through the trees, their flashlights flickering. Emma finally stopped to catch her breath, calling out for Liam and Jake. Silence answered her. Desperate, she retraced her steps, calling their names. Just then, a low, raspy whisper floated through the air, chilling her to the bone. "Stay away from the tree." Ignoring the warning, Emma felt drawn back to the old tree as if it held some dark secret. She approached it cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. As she reached the tree, the shadows around her thickened, twisting into forms that seemed almost human. "Help!" she screamed, but the forest swallowed her cries. Meanwhile, Jake and Liam stumbled upon each other, breathless and terrified. "Where's Emma?" Jake gasped. "I don't know, we have to find her." They retraced their steps, dread building with each passing moment. The air grew heavier and the trees loomed like giants closing in around them. Suddenly they heard Emma's voice, faint and distant, calling for them. "This way!" They raced towards the sound, but the forest twisted, leading them away from her. Desperation turned to despair as they ran until they reached the clearing. There, standing in front of the ancient tree, was the Watcher, a figure draped in shadows, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. They felt its gaze bore into them, paralyzing them with fear. "Your friend is lost," it whispered, voice like rustling leaves. "Once they touched the tree, they belong to me." With a burst of adrenaline, they turned to flee, but the Watcher's presence seemed to suffocate the air around them. They felt the forest itself closing in, trapping them. Days passed in a blur. The townsfolk gathered in worry as Jake and Liam never returned, and soon, Emma's name faded from memory, as if she had never existed at all. The townsfolk would often warn newcomers, eyes glancing nervously at the woods, where the shadows shifted with the wind. And sometimes on quiet nights you could hear whispers calling from the forest, echoing the tale of the Watcher, a figure forever waiting for its next visitors, watching and waiting. Thanks for watching.